Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 83 of Frost and Fire. Last episode, we added the wanted man, Storbeck, to our roster. Storbeck won the raffle for all of my patrons to become characters in my series. What I particularly like is that he's a hunter, and he's being hunted by the Reapers, and also his name works perfectly. Storbeck, you can imagine being a nickname for someone named Sillard Brock. Storbeck, I don't know, it worked out perfectly. But we still have, of course, some mechanoids left to kill here, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on, is trying to clear out the rest of these mechs using psycasts and the like. So here we go, dropping psycasts. What I'm going to try to do is weaponize the charge blasting centipedes to do my dirty work for me, getting them to fight the rest of them. So other things I'd like to do is let's go ahead and I'm going to turn on all the coolers. I'd also like to set up a temp chem fuel zone so that we can make shells. So this will be a temporary stockpile where we will store stuff when we need shells, and I'm going to make up to 30 and 10. I also want to queue up a shield belt and a jump pack. A shield belt for Storbeck, and a jump pack for Storbeck, and a shield belt just for everybody else, you know, as a backup. There's some other things as well. So up here, I'm going to have a weapon stockpile so that I keep my weapons separate from my rest of everything else. So I'll name this weapons. And I'm setting all this up now because my guys that are in the base are running out of tasks to do. So I'm trying to think of tasks that are, you know, beneficial to the group. And then I'm also going to shrink this raw stockpile a little bit as well, so that there's a clear difference between my trade stockpile and everything else. All right, let's focus on the fight here. And keep berserking the centipede. Hippie is going to be endangered there, so I'm going to draw her back. All right, Raptor, I'm gonna need you down here for some berserks. Oh, good. We killed this incendiary one. I'm going to group up the mechs together so that when I berserk them, they could fight one another. So let's regroup and fire on the incendiary, and Raptor, you come out here and berserk the charge blaster. Fall back and berserk. Oh, dodge, dodge, dodge. Good. Okay, let's get another berserk in. Just timing it so we have basically no cooldown. And then we have one more mech plus the charge blasting one. It's only been shot like once. Alright, he's not berserked anymore. Oh, there's no point in berserking him now because, here, fire on me. Fire on me. Oh my god. Fire on me. Yep. Because this one's out of range. We're gonna have Raptor draw fire here. In fact, I can keep pacing back and forth to act as a valid target. And then just dodging. At this point, it might just be easier to finish off the heavy blaster and then kill the last one. So how's the new update coming? So we got our weapons and our clothes. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to split the clothes up too. I'm going to shrink this zone. To be clothes, artifacts, and armor. All right, so artifacts will be preferred, and this will be apparel. Actually, we'll call it utility. Utility, and this will be for armor. I like it a lot. Nope, kind of a pointless berserk. We have to go back inside because now there's no one left to berserk. There's one target left. And let's leave ourselves with some wiggle room, so we're about to have our backs to the wall. Now there's some other quality of life improvements I wanted to make. One thing that I noticed is my pets eat with the door open. So I'm going to shrink the stockpile here so that we don't store meals right in the doorway, and that way we reduce heat in here. Come on, just finish them. What else? I might want some automatic doors, but I'm not convinced of that yet. Oh, come on, finish it, finish it. There we go. All right, schedule. Unrestrict, haul, 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 and haul. And then animals, unrestrict as well. And let's get more training for cauterize. And remove that area 1, whatever that was. Another thing I wanted to do is to wall this up. Let's have a door here, actually. Wall this up. Removing the uranium, the old uranium stuff, and adding in plasteel, because we want the uranium, and I'd also like for this to be enclosed, and I'll explain soon. Okay, not a great place for meals, but oh well. So let's flip the machining table back on and start working on the machining backlog. Shield belts and jump packs and all that jazz. This meat stockpile here, I am going to remove drugs from it, wort from it, and psychoid leaves from it, being meat only. And then I'm going to expand the old one. Good. That looks good. Oh, actually, we don't even need to expand the old one. Okay, so far so good. So let's see what the storyteller throws our way. We do have to sort through our stockpile here, as we don't have the weapons and armor where it's supposed to be, but that won't take too long. We'll probably need a larger clothing stockpile, but I'll adjust as necessary, as needed. Gabe will help to haul stuff around for us, as will Leth and Storbeck once they're up. There are some weapons I want to smelt, so let's do that. Smelt weapon twice, and this will be melee weapons. Because we have a mace and a knife that we want to smelt. One's made out of uranium too, so even more worth it. All right, as I expected, yeah, let's shrink this zone for weapons down a little bit and add more for clothes. Okay. Larger clothes stockpile. Nice. All right, there's the jump pack. This can be mined out. So jump pack would be for storeback. And we don't have space in our utility at the moment. So where'd the jump pack go? I'm probably staring at it. I just don't see it. Oh, here it is. Somehow that got stored as clothing. The utility items are going to get a little bit more room. There. All right, pretty sensible stockpile now. Easy to view and navigate. Let me see if I can get a different color. Because I just don't want it to blend in. That's pretty similar, but that'll have to do. So, copy, copy, delete, paste, paste. All right, so now there's clearly different stocks. Good. All right, JD is crank. Ooh, we've got new crabs. Should have two. Yeah, here's the other one. JD is cranking through all the shells. Bash is going to be butchering up those crabs for meat and material. Speaking of material, we're going to make a cowboy hat and a duster out of it. And Bash got an inspired trade. Nice. I have no idea when that's going to come in handy, but cool. It's looks to be a pretty good time to give a throne speech. So, Raptor, can you give a crummy throne speech again? I mean, I don't want you to, but I half-heartedly expect you to. And then while you do that, I am going to have an exploratory mining tunnel. A new mining tunnel here, where we are just going to dig around, probably mostly for slag. We're going to dig around for whatever materials might be in here. I'm not going to dig too close to the edge here to discourage sapping, because these tunnels here are not going to be rigged with traps like the other ones. So I don't want to dig clear to the edge, allowing sappers to prioritize. So here we go. That's some good mining tunnels. Good project to have on hand. And let's see if it's an inspiring speech or not. Now, one of the nice things is when we gather for a speech like this, everyone's standing around Raptor for an extra 15 mood. So everybody's moods climb pretty high. And it's encouraging. Dang, Raptor. Good job. Good job indeed. Not expecting that, but having an encouraging speech will be nice for days to come. So, this smelter, I'm gonna set up with a small radius slag and move the smelter over. And maybe set a light up in here for my miners to do some mining. Because we have a wall here, this is technically behind a door now. Well, not really actually, because there is that. I have enough plasteel to maybe afford to do a zone like this to keep it technically indoors. I think that's worth it. All right, how's my shells? Still working on it. 27 out of 30. We're almost there. Storbeck, I want you to craft over construct. He's not a very good constructor, so I should set that to 4. There we go. So now we have a little bit of light. Psychic Soothe is ended. We have one more high explosive shell. So if that's the case, this temporary chem fuel will become a low priority stockpile. So we're done with shells. Here's our little mines, and we have that built. Good. All right. I should also add that to home zone. Keep it protected. And that way it's inside. Wait, it's still not inside? It's enclosed. It might not say it's enclosed, but it's enclosed. I know that to be true now, for sure. I guess it's just large enough that it's not technically in a room or whatever. But it says indoors. Has a different temperature, so that's what matters. And that way, if bugs do spawn in there with the back wall walled in fact, I should wall in this back wall as well. Might look like a waste of plasteel, but if I have an infestation that I need to burn or freeze, walls like these will be invaluable because I can what I can do is I can just wall in the entrances and throw in heat and smoke them out, essentially. I'm gonna move that door and set it up here so that it's a choke point and easy to repair. Hippie, let's get you to make some jade sculptures for sale. And yeah, we'll get started on that. Good use of her time. She doesn't need to be smelting necessarily. And I do have these as doors out of the concern that we don't want to fully wall us in. It's boiling out. Ooh, yippee. We don't want to fully wall us in where it completely prevents us from being able to traverse around or whatever. All right, we had a little bit of a rice shortage, but shortage no more. One thing that's a little nonsense is my herbal meds not being stacked, so fixing that. And in fact, this is preferred and this is preferred. Let's make this important. And that way we can merge or haul these meds in where they belong. There, much better. Healing enhancer, I believe we need one more. So let's check. Storbeck does not have one. And Leth does not have one. Those are the only two that don't. Aurora, nice. And we struck uranium ore. Woo! Hello, you got my attention. One of the nice things about having parallel power cables is I can very easily illuminate this a little bit. Man, I got lucky with that, those uranium. It's a pretty healthy size of uranium too, seems like. I hope it's a big node. Looks decent from first glance. All right, when the night owls start to go to sleep, I'll install the other healing enhancer. Oh, Leth, you're making art. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry, Leth. I didn't actually want you making the art. The first one was made by Hippie. All right, that's good. I just screwed up and had it be unrestricted. So, no and no. Let's just take them off of the priority entirely. Getting a pretty good amount of uranium now, which will allow me to reload that that lovely slug turret that I've used. We have a fair bit of wort, so let's switch this back over, even though they just planted it all, to psychoid. So we have a lot of wort on us now. Skin hardening just got researched. Next up will be brain wiring. I think? No, flesh shaping. And I'm going to prioritize the uranium over other mining projects. And then this smelter is going to have a larger ingredient radius, so it covers the new slag that we've mined up. So every build been done. Monumental construction. Let's see. It's a 540. If any piece gets destroyed, it will trigger a psychic droner, 8 skeletons to guard it. I guess I'll accept. It's barely attractive enough. Oh my god. Oh no, there are doors. Okay. I was about to say, there are no doors for this stupid project. But there is. So 540. Was that right? So let's do 8 pile of steel. That should cover the construction. Oh, Storbeck's supposed to be getting surgery right now. Healing enhancer. And the last one's getting made now. I still want to invest more in bionics, flesh shaping, skin hardening, bionic eyes, bionic arms for everyone, so that they're very, 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 very capable of combat. Giving them every possible edge that they can, I can afford. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay, so we have a Heatwave event, which is dreadful for this time of year. Oh, dear lord. Okay, I'm going to keep this door closed. These doors forbidden. I'm going to put a coolers here, here. I'm going to forgo this farm. 2 coolers here. I'm going to have to restrict access to the kitchens during bad hours. like noonday hours. And then I'm also going to shrink this stockpile as much as I can so that the coolers have less volume to cool down. Oh, this is so bad. This is disheartening. So the problem is, at some point, coolers just don't stay efficient. Basically, there's like only so much cooling they can provide, and I was already butting up against their like sort of maximum cooling. So the real fear that I have here is that I basically have a spoil off. I spoil everything. That's... Ooh, marriage is on. Hippie and Raptor. Dang, okay. Yeah, that would be my real fear, is that we have a big spoil off and I get a bunch of my stuff spoiled. So I have all this purchased wood that I will happily deploy around the base to cool things off. Another thing I'm going to need to do is switch all to heat clothing, because we'll melt if we don't. Oh, man. Yeah, we're already teeter-tottering on too warm in here, as you can see. And we have all coolers going in, and we have this nutrient paste is not faring well. Is I think the only way I can put it. Okay. So I'm installing, so when you're trying to cool an area, it has to cool against the gradient, which is to say, the warmer it is on the other side of a wall, the harder it will be to keep it cool. So I'm trying to cool down everything else as well, so that the coolers don't have to work so hard to cool the kitchen. But even then, as you can see, the temperatures are rising, and there's really not much I could do. So what sucks is, yeah, a lot of this stuff is going to spoil. I'm going to lose a lot of nutrient paste. I really don't see an alternative here. I think we're going to lose a lot of nutrient paste as a result. And if you're wondering, why don't you just add more coolers or air conditioners? They don't help to a degree. The only way that more air conditioners would work is if I had more air conditioners per volume. So if I designed a cooler like this, where you had like all air conditioners and then like one door, you know, something like that, that would stay colder. But retrofitting this area like that isn't going to work. And to be able to improve it in time for there to be a benefit before everything rots, well, that's not going to happen either. I think we just essentially accept the fact that there will be some rotting in this colony in times of extreme heat, rather than spending a considerable amount of our components in steel on a very, very low volume freezer that only benefits us rarely. I think that's fair. All right, I'm gonna want a bionic eye and arm for Storbeck. Trying to get all of our shooters bionic arm and eye for higher manipulation and sight, so that they are better, you know, at their job. So Leth is the only one that needs a healing enhancer, but we're gonna wait until it's sleep time for Leth. All right, so I think this is the last uranium. That's still a pretty healthy node. All right, so it is frozen in the night. So another thing I could do is try to only eat during the night, and then lock up access or restrict access during the day. Quest available Scourge pods. Okay. Looks like something I'm willing to do. So let's take a look. Akakios, a freeholder, making a request. A swarm, mech swarm, wants me to signal it. It will have an auto mortar, a countdown timer, 3 unstable power cells, gloom lights, 8 assemblers. Holy moly, that's a lot of assemblers. But I'm going to accept it for goodwill. Because I want them to be my allies. That sounds like a nightmare of a mech cluster. So here it is. Let's go ahead and new zone. This is, of course, the avoid zone. And I'll have to keep an eye on that auto mortar to make sure it doesn't spin up early. Also, keep in mind, Storbeck is a wanted man. There will be Reapers coming to try to hunt him. And if I have a mech cluster nearby, you know, I could have the hunters do some hunting for me. So, invert, set to avoid, and animals, honestly, you just stay inside. Oh, wow. That is one weird mech cluster. It's, nothing is out. Everything is inside. So the auto mortar is where? Here it is. Initiates in 7.3 days. Okay, got it. Very, very strange mech cluster. So I have about a week. Or I have 5 days until it activates, and then a week before the auto motor turns on. So that's not so bad. I'm going to want to deal with the assemblers far before that happens. But only one is assembling centipedes. Nope, 2. 2 is assembling centipedes. I could shell it to death, of course. But I'm just going to buy my time because it's possible that some sort of event will trigger a solution. Alright, it's coming up on the hour that Leth is going to go to sleep. Being a night owl. So let's get this installed. And done. All right, taking a look. We're hovering around freezing here. At 10 a.m. I'm gonna try to shrink the zone here. Oh, all the animals coming in and out are not good. Okay, so what I'll do is during the day, I'm going to remove access to this. And then at night, they can go and eat. So we're gonna have day and night shift just to try to keep this from spoiling. My other freezer, yeah, we're gonna have a big old spoil off unless this heat stroke stops. Hey, we hit steel. I didn't even see that message. Huh. Sculptures are not amazing, but they're fine. Yeah, midday, the freezer really starts to heat up. Raptor. Let's get a silver drop. Nice. Yeah, all right, we're gonna have a big old spoil off. I don't really see any other way around that. It's about to happen. So I wouldn't, this is a tough one. There's not really a lot of weakness. There aren't walls, there's only barricades, and there are just a ton of turrets. There's 9 charge, 8 auto inferno, 7 minis, and an auto mortar. That's pretty brutal. All right, yeah, here's the spoil off now. And even meat is starting to spoil off. And try to decrease the volume that's in here if I can. But I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Just trying anything. All right, animals. You are allowed back in here for like a few hours, so eat. Actually, what are your needs? Yeah, they have pretty high food needs, so animals, I'm gonna have to nudge them. If I want to nudge them, alternatively, I could just keep them in there. You know, why not just do that? That way the door doesn't open. I'm going to forbid the door. Will that kill the crabs? It won't be comfortable for the crabs, but they'll be all right. All right, so here's the bionic arm for Storbeck. We do need bionic arms for our brawlers, Phoenix and Bash, as well. Look at all that steel. This is a bionic eye for Storbeck. All right, we'll see what the temperature stays at. I lower the volume by adding more metal to the walls, and then, you know, locking them in there means that there isn't foot traffic going through all that often, which should keep the temperatures better. We've already lost a stack of meat in here. Pretty unavoidable, I'd like to think. I really can't think of a way to keep that from not spoiling, because it's just brutal. Phoenix, you should tend to your needs. Don't haul the steel. You're about to have a mental break. Actually, he's getting hungry. Oh, do I let you in there, though? Does someone else have a spare meal on them? No, no one does. Nope, no one does. All right, stockpile. Temp meals. Critically important that simple meals that were only really ever made with rice get hauled out so that we can have access to them during the freeze off. Now, temp's climbing in there. We don't get to keep it. All right, so now that all the blueprints are set, we can queue them up for construction. Who's starving? Storbeck? There we go. Yeah, I did my best to try to keep things for rotted, but it's too hot out. It's far too hot out. There's just not going to be a way to keep that from spoiling. I did all I could. All right, let's go ahead and remove the stockpile so that people stop hauling to it. Looks like I'm gonna need some bridges here. That's okay. Getting a little heat stroked. Oh man, there goes all my meals. So a fine meal stockpile, I guess. Well, it's here, Bash. Can you cook? Please, heat stroke, go away. Please, please, please. You're ruining all my food. All right, it's cold enough to stay frozen for now. Trademark. For now. And it's still 210 out. Oh, dear Lord. Boiling out. Literally boiling. All right, Bash is going to try to get a big old healthy stockpile of meals. I know it's a little weird to be processing the rice into meals when the meals can spoil, but the rice generally won't. But we're just trying to get it done. I think the heat wave is going away because it's getting pretty cold in here, which is a pretty good indicator that we're clear through it. Bionic eye and arm. Let's get those going. Yep, heat wave is over. Whew. All right, pets. Pets inside. Oh, we laid an egg in there. Please halt. Thank you. So that was going to spoil. Some of the changes I made to the zone, I'm going to remove, but not all of them. And now we're heading towards the end of the summer. And we're going to have a very strange and very difficult mech cluster to deal with. Swell. All right, place blueprints, wood. And we can finish this monument off with wood. And hope it doesn't get destroyed. Okay, there it is. And there's my rewards. A shock lance and an advanced component. Not much for the effort, but it's something. I'll have to pretend like I'm excited about that. All right, Storbeck now is the bionic hunter I wanted him to be. And we are going to get more bionic arms, Phoenix, and Bash, and Raptor, actually 3. Everyone's going to have at least a bionic arm. We're basically turning into a colony of robots, but this is just because this scenario is so darn challenging that I need really every advantage I can possibly think of to survive it. Keep in mind, of course, that the more I invest in my people, the more my colony wealth goes up. The more my colony wealth goes up, the harder the enemies become. So it is a vicious cycle of difficulty. And this broke down. All right, we'll repair it. Well, this very sad to spoil, episode is now concluded. We are done. The mech cluster is obviously going to be the top of my mind for next episode, but if you have any other feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell, everybody.